Hi, I'm Rachel and welcome to the YouTube series GradLife, a series where I talk about my life post-graduation. A big part of graduating is realising you now have the building blocks to work in your selected industry. You do not, however, know everything. Before I delve further into this video, I should point out that the vast majority of graduate jobs will not expect you to know everything. In fact, they will most likely be training you in the specific skills regardless of your skill level, because every business does stuff differently, and whilst having a base knowledge of software or various things your industry desires, they're going to be retraining you anyway, and whilst it will help knowing what that software or skill is, it's not the end of the world. Keeping your skill set relevant is really more important should you take a set amount of time out of employment or you're looking to advance to a higher position. I say this because maybe you take a break after graduation. You really need to make sure your CV is reflective of the industry as it stands. So do your research and make sure you put yourself in the best position possible to get a new job. Follow people from your industry online, watch YouTube videos and subscribe to newsletters. This will help you stay up to date with your industry and give you an idea of what's coming up in the future. New directions, technologies and ideas are always big talking points online. Keeping up to date with these things means that when you do go for a job interview, you're going to know exactly what they're talking about already, and you might even surprise them because they might not expect a recent graduate to know that stuff. A good general base of skills to have is things like Microsoft Office, especially Excel, because no matter what job you go into, there will be an Excel spreadsheet somewhere in that business. They're everywhere. I don't know why. Coding is a new normal for a lot of businesses, so knowing the basics is never going to hurt. If you want to learn more about it, I really recommend Python as a base, like as a starting coding language, but you really don't have to be a computer whiz. Just understanding the basics and how maybe creative softwares interact with the computer itself is going to help with problem solving and just give you a good base to start with. I also want to briefly touch on automation and artificial intelligence, particularly in film and television. Well, reality television very specifically, because that's my specialty, but just let me geek out a little bit because so much has happened. Like, wow. Reality television is super fast paced and the turnover of work can be as little as 4 days. So from it being shot to going to broadcast is 4 days. And to keep that pace up, efficiency is key. And the way the industry has swung or began to swing is a lot of the process is now automated. There's just multiple pieces of software that all talk to each other and they all work seamlessly and produce a TV show at the end of it. It's crazy. It also frees up humans like myself to do more creative things, and I'm also the person who comes in to fix the computer when it inevitably breaks, although it does break less than humans do. That is a fact. It's kind of like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when Charlie's dad gets replaced with the toothpaste lid machine, and then he goes back later on to be the person who fixes the machine that replaced him. That's how I picture our little TV making machines, and every now and again I just pull the plug out. No. Imagine if I did that. Imagine the chaos that would ensue if I pulled the plug on those machines. If, like me, you find artificial intelligence and automation really interesting, I really recommend reading 21 Life Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Noah Harari. And the entire first part of this book is dedicated to technology, and it's fascinating to see what we as people can do with technology and creativity together. Another thing that's really important is knowing how to talk to someone over email, which sounds super obvious, but it's incredibly important. For most companies, email is still the primary form of communication between employees, so knowing how to talk on it is incredibly important because it's not like talking on Twitter or texting. Communication is key in any industry, and being relatively formal and saying thank you at the end of an email goes a long way. The way I personally approach this is when I join a new company or start a new job is I tend to be overly formal when I write emails, and then as I've been there a while and I kind of gauge the atmosphere of the company, I'll reduce how formal I'm being depending on how other people are speaking to me. It's a lot easier to be overly formal and kind of reduce it than it is to be casual and maybe a bit unprofessional and have a manager approach you about it. I also do this for all other forms of communication such as Slack or any other internal messaging service. I wish I could sit here and give you a list of skills you should be upskilling, but I would literally be here forever, and in 6 months' time it would be out of date anyway. Things changed so dramatically when I graduated. Like, 4K wasn't really a thing when I graduated. Stranger Things had just came out and it was filmed in 8K, and that broke my brain. HDR wasn't really a thing. Softwares I trained in now look completely different to what they looked like when I was a student. But part of the fun of being in creative industries is that all this technology is constantly advancing, and it's making our jobs simultaneously easier, but also just giving us more scope to work with. It's giving us new tools to work with, and that's just amazing, and it's so much fun. I hope you guys liked this video. Remember to give it a big thumbs up if you did, and also remember to check out the rest of the GradLife series here on the UCA YouTube channel. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys around. Bye!